Welcome to video number 3 of the prototype. Thank you guys for viewing all of the other videos. We have over 200 views, so shout out to y'all. Y'all the real MVP. Appreciate that.
My boy Blue.
So today we're going to get into another topic, and it's called How to Handle Your Ex. Mr. Ruff, take it away.
Yeah, so this topic is brought on to you by something that recently happened to me. I was at the grocery store the other day, and I had to take a business phone call, and I stopped like right by the entrance, was on my phone, and I saw a young lady that I used to talk to, and her face was like, when she saw me, she was surprised. I guess she thought I had moved out of state. Not sure what gave her that impression. But she was with her current boyfriend, fiance, husband, don't know. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to know because she never introduced him. I was on the phone mid-sentence and had to stop my call as she walked up, gave me a big hug, and it was just an awkward situation because I'm seeing him looking at me like, who is this guy? And it was funny to me because we dated for a little while, and as they greeted her, said hi, I am no, I never moved, I've been here, been married, and she knew I was getting married, so I'm not sure where that came from either way. But nonetheless, it was an awkward situation because she never introduced her significant other. Was very surprised and happy to see me. And as she walked away, I heard him saying, well, who is that? Well, that's just a guy I knew from da-da-da-da. And I was like, a guy she knew? Yeah, I know her, but...
Not in the biblical sense.
Yeah, so... just, leave that where it is. But it brought us to this topic of how to deal with exes of people that you were once in a relationship with. And this story was very interesting. So I immediately came home, told Sharon, and here we are now making this video.
So that was awkward for your ex to be completely surprised and excited to see you, and you're like, hey... Yeah. Oh, and you're with someone. You just started a conversation that you're going to have. You may not even make it down your grocery list because this is going to cause an argument.
I think they might have left that grocery store early. I honestly think it was, you got Lucy, you got some explaining to do. But yeah, it's a very unique situation, and it brings us to what do you do or how do you handle your exes?
Right.
And one of the first things that we talked about and discussed was not letting anything or anyone, this is something I'm going to say all the time, not letting anything or anyone change who you are. The person I am as a husband is the person I am as a father, is the person I am at work, is the person I am when I meet someone new or someone from my past. I'm never going to change who I am. So naturally, yes, I'm going to be me. I'm going to say hi. I'm going to greet you. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to talk to you because that's just at the core of who I am. I like to believe I'm a nice, friendly, loving person. So I'm going to speak to everybody. I'm not going to just give you the stank face and just walk off. I'm never going to let anybody change who I am and how I try to go about my life.
So yeah, never let anyone change who you are. Be your vibrant, lovable self, regardless of the situation. Now, let's just be honest. People are jerks, especially if you have an ex and it didn't end too well. It just depends on if they still in their feelings or not. And depending on the situation, most people do end up in their feelings, especially if they don't talk it out and they just leave it the way that it is. But I'm not sure how I would have handled that conversation. I probably would have been caught off guard, like, hey. But I probably would have tried to find a way to include the person they were with, assuming this was her boyfriend or a fiance or whatever, just so it wouldn't be an awkward situation.
Yeah, and if obviously there's something there because you're going to introduce whoever you're with. Now, if it's somebody that's not like a significant other, you're just like, hey, you have no problem saying, hey, this is my brother, this is my cousin, this is my uncle, this is Tyrone, I'm taking him to get some groceries. You know what I mean? But if it's somebody that you're currently in a relationship with, when you meet someone who you were previously in a relationship with, there needs to be some type of discussion. So do you communicate to your partner or do you not communicate to them? Do you let them know about your past? What are you talking about? You know, each situation is different. We currently have a blended family. I have another daughter, and we're working on communicating with her mom. It's something that's a very sensitive subject, but even still with that situation, it's something that at the core of who I am, I'm not going to change who I am.
Right.
At the beginning, I was upset. I was frustrated. Now it's still, frustrating about the situation, but I'm not going to change my feelings towards her. She's still my daughter's mother. I'm going to treat her with the utmost respect. But the conversations, the tone of the conversations are different. And our conversations about the situation are continuing. So it's not something like, oh, it's just something in the corner. We put a pin in it. We're not going to talk about it. That's something that we have talked about and something that we need to talk about. And each situation, again, is different. So how you deal with your situation may be different than we deal with it because, like I said, we're married. I have another child versus somebody that you used to talk to versus somebody that they're with now. So each situation is different. It's very unique. But at the core of the situation, one, never change who you are. And two, you need to have constant communication about the situation. And you need to decide if you're going to talk about your past and your ex, whatever that may look like for you and your current partner now.
But, okay, so for me, your ex or exes were your dating experiences. And some of those people, depending on how deep the relationship was, have painted or sculpted the way you handle relationships, the way that you are, if you have trust issues or whatever the case is. In some form or fashion, they leave an imprint. True. Especially if you were intimate with that person, then you caught up in feelings and things happen. It's important to discuss your exes, especially if they meant something extreme and you didn't have an okay recovery from the breakup or whatever the case is. So that way the person that you're in a relationship with now or choosing to get into a relationship with understands your background. And that gives them an option if they're going to deal with your brokenness or if they're going to walk away. Because you cannot bring baggage into something new. It's just something you can't do. It's law. It's in the Bible. You just cannot bring baggage into something new. You can't put old wine in new wineskin. It's just not going. It's not going to happen, and it's not going to blend well, and it don't taste good. So you want to communicate. Hey, I used to date this person. This is what happened. This is what the outcome was. This is the situation. I personally was married before, and my ex and I didn't end on good terms. Lo and behold, divorce or whatever. If it could have been an annulment, I definitely would have went that route, but time limit issues, whatever. But because that happened, I had to explain, hey, I've been married before. This is what the situation was. This is what I went through. And this is what the outcome was. Now, he chose to deal with my craziness. And and understood the stuff that came along with it. But you're giving yourself the option to heal, and you're giving that person the option to help you heal. You just don't spaz out and get into an argument. All of a sudden, you calling the person that you're with that person's name because you haven't let go of the past. That's not okay. So you have to communicate that out. You have to get that out. Discuss that. Now, if they was just a fly by night, you keep that to yourself. Don't even say anything. Just keep that to yourself. That's between you and Jesus alone. But if they made a significant change in your life and you wasn't just with them for a year, you was with them for 3 years or whatever the case is. That's something that needs to be discussed, because there may be feelings or issues that you have that you never really realized. You thought you were okay, but you're not. So
there can be unresolved issues. But one of the most important things she said was you communicate to that person. You give them an option to choose if you want, or if they want to deal with that baggage, that past, that history. You give them an option. It's unfair to put someone in a situation and not give them the full aspect or the full
Absolutely.
idea of what they're getting themselves into. You start to get into half truths, which is still a lie. You can't admit things when you're ready, especially when you're ready to be married. You need to be open and honest with that person. So you definitely need to communicate what your past was, what your situation is, and what you want going forward. Each relationship is like a stepping block. Not that we're stepping on that person, but I look at all my past relationships, my past dating experiences. They help shape and mold me to the person I am today. If I hadn't had bad relationships, heartbreak, unfortunately, and I am sorry if I broke somebody's heart. I'm sorry. And if I never told you that, again, I apologize. Okay. I'm sorry. Deeply. So, but all of those situations help shape and mold me to the person I am today. I learned from doing this right or doing this wrong in relationships so that I can get to the point where I'm now with my wife, where I can say, hey, you know what? In the past, I did this and that didn't work for me. Or in the past, I did that and that may have worked for me. So that may be something I want to try to incorporate. And I try to incorporate that into our relationship. But that, again, has helped me along the way. Each relationship, each experience you've had helps shape and mold you into the person you are today.
Right. Absolutely. So it's important to communicate that out. So, and then also don't be hiding communication with your ex.
Oh, yeah.
Because that causes a whole nother blow up. That's, if you're still in communication with your ex, what's the status? Determine what's the status between y'all. Are y'all talking because you're trying to get back together? Are you talking because you're trying to heal so you can go your separate ways? Or are you talking because you genuinely y'all have a good friendship? Y'all are really, really good friends. Majority of the people I was in a relationship with, we are friends, not to the point where we chopping it up every day or whatever the case is, laugh, kiki, ha every other day or whatever the case is, but we're cordial. And I don't have a problem with saying, hey, I dated this person. If we ever run into them or whatever with my husband, hey, I dated this person. It's so-and-so, and that's it. I'm not going into a shell like, oh my God.
No, let's not. Hey, you know what? I decided I don't need anything from the grocery store. We're just gonna
go back home.
Turn back around. You know what? Let's eat out tonight.
Right.
Eat out. Exactly. No. You definitely need to determine your status, so you don't put yourself in an awkward situation.
Yes.
And if there is communication, like she said, that needs to be talked about. I have friends, Sharon has friends, but we have friends together.
Yes.
There is no secret. There is nothing that I keep from her. Our friends are our friends. The people that we may have dated in the past, she may know. She knows about them. I know about them. I'm not, telling you guys to, tell your number or whatever that may be or may not be. That's your business.
Yeah.
However, if there's somebody in the recent past, they should know about, especially. We stay in the metro Atlanta area. Atlanta is a small place. And actually, the world is a small place. You never know how many people you're going to run into that know you. The 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever they call it. You never know who you're not sure yet. No. You never know who you're going to run into. And you never know who knows who and who knows what, especially nowadays with social media.
Social media is changing lives, and I'm not talking about for the better. Like, I'm talking about rekindling stuff and reconnecting people, reuniting, and it feels so good, and it's not supposed to be good.
Yeah.
So you have to use discretion. Like, be smart about it. Is it fair for you to be chopping it up with your ex and rekindling the flame if you're in a relationship with somebody? That's not okay.
So determine your status. Are you in a relationship now? If you are, have you and your partner talked about that?
Yeah.
Are you dating? What is your intention with the person you're with now? So that can determine your interaction and how you interact with your ex
Right.
around the current person you're dating? Or are you out here just, trying to be the player, the male or female, because it goes
Okay.
both ways. What exactly are you trying to do? So know yourself, know your worth, know what you're trying to do, but determine your status. Are you single and trying to mingle? Or are you in a relationship and you're trying to settle down?
All right. So that's important. But this is our interpretation of how to handle your ex. If you have a funny ex story that you don't mind sharing, we won't tell nobody who you are. But you can send it to wisdom by30@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can send that to wisdom by30@gmail.com. Of course, we can talk about exes all day long. And if we didn't touch on something that you had a question about, send your question in, or send your comments in. Let us know how you feel about it. Of course, we have feelings about it too, but just let us know. But we just wanted to give you a scenario and just try to touch on a little bit about exes, because exes are a sticky situation. So we thank you guys again for watching our videos. We'll see you again in another week.
Deuces.